Oh boy, oh boy, oink oink. If I can talk to the pigs, if I can talk to the chickens, if I can talk to the turkeys and hens, if I can talk to all the fins in the waters, if I can talk to the ducks who have orange feet, if I can talk to the chickens who have yellow feet, then I would know from the ducks who fly south, from the chickens that do not fly, where their wings are clipped, and all the birds and colors, I would know where everybody comes from according to the world of numeric math. In the English, and all the English letters that are used in all the languages, I can learn from that. Then we can go to other shapes, distorted shapes from the Arabic language. I do not know what the letters look like in the Arabic language when they're square. I do know what they look like from the Hebrew languages. I do know what a lamb or a sheep looks like, and all the names of the lamb, or Billy the Kid, or Kid the Goat, or the kids that are in the house. And I know about the neigh and the neige, and I know about the manège or the manège or the manège, which is a amusement park, a toy to go on and to ride in the roller coaster. And I know what it is to be on wheels and off wheels. I know what it is to have the walking motion. I know what the word is. The word you hear has a numeric value of 1 through 26, of 11 through 36. It could have any number. In fact, we can rotate all the letters. First, we have to know how the rotation works. On the square grid, okay, or the flat calculator, in which is over here, I would put all my odd numbers on the corners. If I wanted the circle this way, I would put my greatest diameter to the odd numbers. So in this scenario, walking letters would be A1, A3, A7, half or part of A, or A equaling to 1 1/4 times 4 value, because 5 times 1 1/4, and there's 4 corners and we're taking up the 4 sides, or 5 times what to have the inside? Is it the same 1 1/4 to the inside as the outside? 20, 1, 3, 7, and 9, that's your outside. 20, 2, 4, 6, and 8, that's your inside. Which one, which 20, 20 will we use? To get this one, X and O, we have little x's. When we create the greatest X and O, we get little x's. Remember, we all started with farm animals. Then we went to wild animals. Then we went to farm fed, open range, and sauvage. We went from colors and letters and what if I could vibrate and understand vibration. And the animal can understand vibration. Then I can talk to the animals. Now we were going to bring up a number, and that number of the 4 corners, which equals to 4, but this one will be 5, so that means all of these will equal to 1/4, where all of these equals to 20 as 2, 4, 6, and 8, and all of these, right? Do I really want to even touch the center of this? Equal to the center? This one equals 1.25 times 4 equals to 5. But what if I bring this in over here? That's equal to 4. So each one of these are valued at 1, but these are valued at 1 1/4. 4 areas get 1, but I'm crossing through. I'm using the cross through. So when you see So by doing this, I create, give me some color over here. I create an X. At the same time, okay, you create an X there, I create an X here, and an X here, and an X here. That's X 10 times 4 equals to 40. It's also the 24th letter in the alphabet times 4 equals to 96. Because there's an X in the center that has 1.25 the value of the other X's according to the cube that we're going to put in front of you right now, talking about the 5 cube. 96 times 1.25 equals to 120, and that is your gateway. Add up 1 through 15 equals to 120. Add up 1 through 20 equals 210. The letter L, A, B, and the letter I, C, E. Lab ice. What is all this? Well, this is pretty simple. The 12th letter is L. The 21st letter is U, which means to read. Lu. It means to see or to read. The total is 33. And if you minus 12 from 21, it is 9. So it is L-I-U-C. I lucky. I lucky ice. Frozen. Frozen for eternity. Because eternity equals to life. Eternity or eternal life. Which word is used? Is it a verb? Is it a noun? Is it an adverb? You want to read something, you have to understand values. This is only one way to put a value. A3, A7, A9, A5 gets 1.25 the value, or it gets memory. Altered current. This is ABC, my friends. The M is the 13th letter, and the B is 2. 132 divided by 3 equals to 43 DC. 132 divided by 4 equals to 33 of the mass. 3 by 3, 3 times 3 says if. It says rift. I have 2 3s. Automatically means I go over the top. I go over the top in gematria because the letter house to the number value of gematria, Chaldean, numbers, Pythagorean, single count, full count. In the full count, we have 9 and 18 and 27 and 36. Well, what is this? It means that if I have a word where the letter is over the 9 letter, 10 or above, I can reduce the 9 to get to a Pythagorean count. So if I'm counting the alphabet as being 11 through 36, meaning ace 11, saying I'm coming out of the game of stand on 17. The dealer may pull on a soft 17, so the dealer has the ace and is now in the game with you on a different level. JC, 10 and 3, 13. 13 and 2, 42, or 15, says Mars Cat. I'm always using the same thing. I'm using the planets, and I'm going to be using the constellations. And the more we can get into the game, the more we can increase the 512. We need more. We buy a cell phone. Let me put this down. Let me talk to you straightforward. We buy all these phones. In fact, I don't even like to hold this, but we buy all these phones, and yes, my phone hears everything I say. It's a vibration. It goes in. It has no choice if they're recording it all. Okay, they can't possibly listen to everybody with less ears. we need everybody to go to sleep so we can work 24 hours a day in this world while the rest of the world goes to sleep to catch up with the rest of their day, for the computers to catch up, to cool them down on ice. Too much information, global warming, the Arctic is warming up. We have too much information. We're in information overload. 6.66, the tilt of an angle to a vibration area will equal to 6666. How do I know? Because I was told by you that when you split this area over here, you will have both 9 and 9 keeping it square to the circle. You'll have a total of 18 times 18, 324, and 36, giving me 360 degrees. 18 times 18, 324, 18 plus 18, 36. To what factor? 18 minus 18 equals 0. 9 times 9 is 1 times 8, and 1 plus 8 equals 2. 9 and 8. 1772. 24 and 51. If I'm already reduced, I shall rise. If I am from above, I shall go below. 3 times 24, 72. 3 times 17, 51. Crossing of the masses. And you know what I like about this angle is that in the Jewish star, right, it's all about that angle. Take a look. Take a look. Um, take a look at that angle. I'm going to try and see if I can get this properly over here. No, I don't have that properly. Hold on a second. Um, yeah, well, it's the angle where this one meets here and this one meets here. I don't know if you can see it. See, this is straight up and this is straight up, but this one to this one is not straight up. This one to this one is not straight up. This one to this one is straight up, but this one to this one is, see the angle it's on? And this one to this one is on that angle, all different periods of time. So when you have, instead of having this number is 18 anymore, you now have it as 9. So 9 times 9 is 81 Venus. If you reduce that, it becomes 27 to a red sun. If you multiply it, it becomes 243 inside the vibration of 1 and 5, the day of the seventh gate, where she was let in through the cat's eye inside of Mars. 24 gets 27, area 51, keeping the vibration inside of her. 9 times 9, 9 plus 9 equals 18 equals 99. Jupiter, gold of the moon. Yes, the other 9 is through the moon. If we can get to all these places, if we can get to all these places, that all these places were, are, and are the way I think where they are, somehow from the ground floor, we can probably climb our way up. It'll be a hell of a climb, but somehow the more I see it, the more I know we're in this cobweb, and maybe an energy will just pull us right into the moon. But be careful. Be careful if the moon is wet or not wet. When the moon is dry or the moon is giving off its water, its heat. It's heat from all the work it's been done. Hoover Dam, the Vega card, Sol, the sun, Hoover Dam, Las Vegas, a huge dam, a huge dam. It was such a small city and it's such a huge dam to light up all these lights. Now, what's funny about Las Vegas and all this energy they need for the lights, and I'm moving over because I'm doing a calculation at the same time, right, is that if they change all for, they have the neon lights, which uses less energy, and now they have the what's it called lights, those little tiny lights. Well, you know what they are. You know the this light here. You know this light here, right? What do you call that light? So anyways, this light here, now this is the beam light. This is not the light, this is the laser light. I'm still talking about those little lights. Anyways, you know what I'm talking about, those lights. Those little tiny lights that take up hardly any power. How much more light can Las Vegas light up? How much extra energy does Las Vegas actually have? Is there a day or something? Is there a period in time that Las Vegas energy somehow is being built up somewhere, preserved? Are they shutting something down to have extra energy for something else? What's happening? You see, this is a big thing. To me, two things are in my mind. One is the Eiffel Tower, okay, and the other because of where it's pointed. I need to know the point of the Eiffel Tower and the point of the pyramids in Gaza. At the same time, we have to understand the Las Vegas energy, when it's being used, what's going on that day. Very important, very, very important. Now we're getting Niagara Falls and the Great Lakes are coming into this right now. What's going on? What's going on in Quebec by LG? Remember, we had to mix up all these LGs, so now we have an LG phone and we have LG for the power stations in Quebec. So I'm trying to associate small things somewhere in Italy, somewhere down coming down the canal from Iceland and Sweden all the way down from that North Pole region underneath the ground of the earth right there, because Syria and Israel are like at the throat of these two areas. And well, I'm talking like this because that's the motion that I'm in. And we're also coming up to our next calculation. And I'm going to have to take this off to show you all my calculations. First, we started with 18 by 18 equals to 324. 18 plus 18 equals to 36. 18 minus 18 equals to 0 equals to 360 and 288. 1.25 times 288 will equal to 360, right? So we see how it's going to go. This is the way it is. Okay. Then we went to 9 times 9, okay, equals to 81. And 9 plus 9 equals to 18 equals to 99. That's the numeric value for ear, as in time, heaven, third world, red sun, creation. 28 and 27, 55, 59, born in balance, in lab science. Mr. Jinx, you said to speak the words that come from the words. Well, this is words that come from words, all knowing that both of these become zeros. All knowing that when you have the S and when you have the S and when you have gematria, you have double zeros because of how the letters at 19, right? You reduce this twice, becomes 18. S gets reduced twice, 18, down to 1. So now you can use 19 and 18 equals 37. The S is connected to the red sun of the cube of the two worlds. 3 and 7 is 10, creating 5 and 5. We only can work in this kind of worlds, right? How would we match 5 and 5? What is 5 and 5? In the deck of cards, you have two areas, 5 and 5. Looks like 8, right? There's nothing at the center over here. So I am also assuming that we can only play from half of one area. And obviously, you must include the impartial half, which is the center of this. If you don't play from the right side of the center, you don't play from the center of the center, you play from the outside of the center. Let's call this behind the nets in hockey. If you want, you have to play from the back side of the center. So let me show you this again. Are you mixed up? We had two circles over here. We want to bring these two circles together. So we must have, here's your HI, but we must keep life and circulation of these two circles. So you don't play from this side of it. You don't play from the middle of it, but you must keep the nut involved. You must keep the nut involved behind the net. You need the nut. So instead of having 50-50, half and half of each of 100%, you now need to take up and have that extra 5 yards to cover the nut, or to have the extra, if it's 50-50, now we're going to have it as 60-20-20 or 60-40, 20-20 being behind the net. And since there's behind the net and there's more than one part of creation, right, then There's going to be more behind the nets, and this design is going to evolve. Now, I've gone way over my head, and I don't even think I explained it properly. What I'm trying to say is we do not overlap the circles. We do this to the circles, where X marks the spot right over here. See this turning area over here? If it was turning the water like an egg beater, go in one side, come out the other side. Here's the center of these two worlds, but there's another dot inside the center looking like the digital dots. And the reason for those digital dots is because we need to keep the nuts inside. Now it looks as thick as a hockey puck. So this is now the outside of the round. Maybe we're talking the 33, maybe we're talking the 45 record player. Does it seem like we're in the movies? Am I taking you all over the place? Are you getting confused? Do you see a bird? Do you see the side of the hanging lips of a dog? Why am I taking you all over the place? Have you been watching the movies lately? Have you been watching movies lately? They take you all over the place in the movie. They go from the beginning to the end to the back, and they're going all over, restructuring. They're bringing you forward and backwards. I'm rebalancing your understanding on how to vision things. So not all these things I believe in Hollywood are bad. I believe there's a lot of good coming out of this, and I believe in order to take control of your mind, they need to move it around like we move around with CERN, and the chemtrails move around the clouds. Once I can control your mind, I feel your energy inside your mind, and now you've got the rhythm of that vibration, and you're inside the game. Now, either you can control and know everything that's going around you, and you can move inside the game and know exactly what you need to do in that motion so you can help others to remove themselves from that vibration inside the game. So now let's finish off with, forget about these circles, okay? We're just going to finish off with 8 times 8 equals to 64, and 8 and 8 is 16 equals to 80. That's your 9 lives of the cat. That's your communication. That's your 420, my friends. That's where weed marijuana comes in right now. All zeros equal 6. Okay, this one will equal 104 communication, Roger Rabbit. The ears are on. 164 video, 164 something to do with rolling of the cassette. 74 is Jesus is now on tap, and it's 110 we have reached. Can't tell you what it all means. I just know it started off with rabbit ears and marijuana. This in French says 420. Cat, vin. So it's now saying cat vin, which is actually quatre vin. 420. Quatre says 43, which is now saying DC, which is the AC/DC, however that power works. GNT is what comes in here, so I know it's the gateway of Northern Telecom. So now we're going to go back to all these numbers. We had the 18 times 18 equals 324. We had the 9 times 9 equaling to 81. We had the 8 times 8 equaling to 64. This totals 9, this totals 9, this totals 10. This equals 919 equals to a total of 19, the letter S, A, and I. Se, to know, I am. The same time, if you multiply it, okay, for this equals to 24, this equals to 8, this equals to 24. 48, 62, wrong, 48, 56. This will stand for creation. This will stand for 11. This will stand for where Mars comes from with the 1 inside of it. 1 times 5, 1 plus 5. 1 times 5, 1 plus 5 equals 6 and 5, 11. 2 times 3, 2 plus 3 equals 6 and 5, 11. 7 times 2, 7 plus 2 equals 14, 9 equals 23. 5 times 3, 5 plus 3 equals 15, 8, 23. So we're going to go on to the next level, right? 5 times 3 will equal to 15. This is the beginning of pi. So now we have all these numbers, and now we have 9, and now we have 16, 7. We have 479. I have no idea what it means yet. I know under the birth and the gateway to creation of the moons of C and F, Celsius, Fahrenheit. The difference is, and where the freezing point lands, is where 32 is now zero freezing, where 40-40 match Celsius and Fahrenheit. Celsius and Fahrenheit. This obviously has to do with foreign height, foreign height, foreign money, four in eight, foreign height. Ren is the wolf. 45, sorry, Ren is the fox. 45 is the number to fox in English. It's a passage through the foxhole inside the sun. Now we're going to add all these, the additions up. We had 36, 18 times 18 and 18. Then we had 9 and 9. And then we had 8 and 8, 16, 9 and 7. 36 and 34, your total is 70. And that total of 70 will be DMV 31. 4, 13 is 17, 39, 49, 59, 69, 70. 22, 39. Highway 93, Hoover Dam, Herbert Hoover. Raphael 7286, and a constellation of Pegasus. How did this all start again? With words, with the animal, with the duck, with the pigs and the chickens and the elephants that are gray, knowing that gray and blue are a mix. Knowing that one color, one special color, two special colors, where we have black and where we have red, the positive and the negative, have the greatest effect in the color nation, because red with white will create rose in French, will create pink in English, will be gris in French, will be gray in English. They will change from red and white to a color of rose. They will change from white and black to the color of gray. Gray and pink, 55 and 50, hand to God 05, the E worlds, the we worlds, the me worlds, the mu world. All these are coming from the 523, 511 creation, Raphael 7286, and a constellation of Pegasus. I do not have a script written because the script has already been written. It's only if I can tap myself into what they've already done and just talk about it, like the real news and the fake news. This is numeric relations, and I'm just at the beginning of chipping at the first step of the iceberg. Raphael 7286, and a constellation of Pegasus. I painted a little bit, that became a lot over time, and the changes were relevant and irrelevant to some